going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. So I actually didn't have time to make a full-scale video today, plus you know how the weekend goes. Price action gets a little crazy. Now, if you're watching the chart right now, Bitcoin is moving up as we had anticipated, but there's something even crazier that is happening right now. And the last time that this happened for Bitcoin, Bitcoin actually pumped over 600%. Now, I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen today, but I am saying that the last several times that we have seen this happen, we have seen positive price action for Bitcoin, at least minimally in the short term. And I want to show you guys what I'm looking at right now on my screen. And hopefully this, it's kind of exciting. So let's dive in. Let's have a look. So what we're looking at right here is the DXY, the US dollar currency index. And we've gone over this a lot on the channel. Generally speaking, when you have the dollar getting stronger, right, going in an uptrend, that's when you see things like risk assets, for example, Bitcoin or commodities, they tend to fall in the opposite direction and vice versa. So we have two moving averages. The yellow moving average right here is the 50. And this blue right here is the 200. Now, typically speaking, when you fall below the 200, it's often considered to be entering bearish territory. And you can see that right here, we did actually start to fall below it. But what I want you to pay most attention to is the fact that we're having this yellow line cross below the blue line. Or in other words, the 50 is crossing below the 100. Now, this is what's considered a death cross, and it is considered bearish. Now, if you look historically, for example, right here, when you have the yellow line crossing above the blue line, that's considered a golden cross. And you could see that the dollar was going sideways for a bit right here. And then once it did pop above, we went on this massive, massive uptrend. And that's when we saw Bitcoin and commodities fall, right? So what I wanted to do was historically just point out what tends to happen when we have these crosses. So we're obviously having one right here, right now. We know this is happening live, right? And it is confirmed because it has actually crossed over right there. Now, of course, we could have fake outs. Fake outs are possible, right? You can, we had like, for example, a fake out right back here, but I just want to show you guys this. So I dated this all the way back to 2013. Obviously there's more crosses before that, but really before 2013, Bitcoin was trading at such a low price. It was so volatile that it wasn't really being affected by major things like the DXY. 2013 is when you started to see, the general public kind of, finding interest in Bitcoin. So I've actually taken the time to plot this on here and have a look at this, guys, on the Bitcoin chart. So you can see right here, if we scroll back, we had this first death cross on the DXY right here on September 20th of 2013, right? And if we come over and we have a look at the Bitcoin chart, let me scroll back. I've already plotted this for you guys. So here's September 30th, right, of 2013. What was Bitcoin doing? It was going sideways, right? It was consolidating, right? We were just consolidating right here. And then as soon as we had that, a little bit more, and boom, crazy pop, right? And if we go back to the DXY, what was the DXY doing? It was falling down, right? Now we come over here we have, this is March 28th of 2016, right? You can clearly see we're having the yellow cross below the blue, right? And we're also having a drop in the price, right? So this is March 28th of 2016. We come over here. We go to March 28th of 2016. I already have it plotted right here. What are we doing, guys? Right here, right? Look, March 28th, what are we doing? We're going sideways, we're consolidating, and then, a few days after, well, a little bit more than a few days after, actually, but, obviously these aren't immediate signals, but you can see what happens, boom, crazy pop, and then Bitcoin goes on another massive run, right? So same thing we could say right here. We go to the next one. Right here. So this one happened on, this was May 26th of 2017. Now, this one's a little bit interesting because Bitcoin was actually already in a crazy bull run. So you could see right here what actually happened. I don't know if you could see this. Bitcoin actually started to fall. Can you see this right here? Bitcoin came all the way up to around, it was $2,750. And it actually dumped all the way down 32% to about $1,876. But what ended up happening, as we had that cross right here, literally, boom, instantly pops back up, and then we continued on the bull run. So you could say that this one is a little bit of an outlier only because we were already technically in a bull run, right? So really all it did was it just added fuel to the rocket ship and helped Bitcoin to pop up a little bit higher. And then, of course, going to this next one over here, this is the most recent one. This actually, this death cross for the dollar happened on July 3rd of 2020. So this is very, very recent. In fact, some of you may have gotten into crypto even as this was happening. And if we go to July 3rd of 2020, right here, as I've already plotted it out for you guys, look at what we were doing, right? July 3rd, 2020, we had just come out of COVID. And what are we doing? Again, guys, we're going sideways, and then, boom, we start the run. And of course, everything else is history. You guys know what happened. Now, obviously some people will say that, right here in this area is, where they were, lots of stimulus checks and everybody was getting money. Okay, fair enough. And, the environment is different. But I just wanted to point out, guys, that we are right here, going kind of sideways. It is a little bit of a different situation. If we go back historically and we look at this, in most of the situations for Bitcoin, we had actually been going sideways for quite some time. We weren't quite out of the bear market, but it wasn't quite into a full-on bull market just yet, right? Sorry, let me get these scribbles out of the way for you guys here. You guys know I like to make a mess on my charts all the time. So yeah, as you guys can see right here, we were going sideways, right? And then that was sort of like the fuel for the fire. This one was mid-rally. And, right here, it is a little bit different. Oh, this one we were also going sideways. We actually had gotten a little bit, we weren't fully out of the bear market just yet. Keep in mind, we were still quite far off from our 20,000 target. We were sitting down at around 9,300. But nevertheless, guys, we are literally having another cross right here, right now. So, could this time be different? Because the Fed is raising rates and we're not in this super inflationary environment. Sure, it's possible, but I just wanted to point out that pretty much dating back to 2013, every single time we have ever had, this death cross right here on the DXY, it has been positive for Bitcoin. So even if we are still potentially, in this bear market and we are still, trending to the downside and you do think that we have to go sideways a little bit longer, that is a possibility, but still on the short term, as I've been saying, I do believe that we should have at least some form of a rally at, in the beginning of this year leading into the mid, sometime around the summer, and then we have to reevaluate things. But ultimately, historically speaking, this has always been a very, very positive indicator for Bitcoin. So obviously, it's different this time. I understand it's not quantitative easing. Maybe this time it will be different. We have seen a lot of things happen for Bitcoin that we haven't seen happen before. So it is possible that this time could be different. But granted, I was looking at the fact that we were overdue for some type of positive price action anyway, coupled with the fact that we are seeing this weakness in the DXY. We have to keep our eyes on it. We have to pay attention and make sure that it's not a fake out. But if we do get that confirmation, which it's already been rejected once off of the 200, then I do think we could see at least a short-term rally for Bitcoin nevertheless. So thanks again, guys, for coming back to the channel. You guys rock. You're the reason that I make these videos. You're awesome. I love you. Hope you're having a great weekend. Be safe out there. And also, if you are looking to trade, make sure that you check out the tutorial popping up right here, right now. Until next time, stay crypto, and of course, peace out.